It's raining outside today, so I wanted to talk to you about people that don't work in the rain. When you hire a general contractor and it's raining outside, they're not going to show up to work outside. So let's talk about the top 10 things you should never say to a general contractor. Let's get started. Hey y'all, this is Amy Clark with Crowlike Realtors, your go-to realtor for working, living, and buying property in Memphis and the Mid-South. Today I want to talk to you about the top 10 countdown things we're not going to say to a general contractor. In the long run, this could save you time, money, and avoid headaches and costly mistakes on your end. So let's get into this. Number 10 on our countdown is, can you start right away? Yeah, you're excited about your project. You really want to start your project, but if a contractor can start right away, that means they're not busy. They may not be as reputable as you would like them to be. General contractors are very busy. They have lots of schedules, lots of projects going on at the same time. That should be a red flag to you if someone can start tomorrow, right away. Let's wait, be patient, and take the time to fit into their schedule. That will lead you down the right path to the right contractor. Be patient. Number 9, I trust you. Do whatever you want. We don't need to sign a contract. A written contract protects you and the contractor. You need to have very clear communication with your contractor, what your goals and expectations are and what his goals and expectations are. You need to have a timeline. You need to have a money situated out. You need to make sure that you're basically on a payment scale. It all needs to be written down. We want to make sure that you just don't say, oh, I trust you. You'll never get your project finished. And it could cost you a lot more time, money, energy, hassle, headaches. It could cost you a lot without having a written contract. A written contract protects the homeowner, the client, and the contractor as well. Number 8, I found a cheaper option somewhere else. Well, if you focus your whole contract or your whole project only on cost cutting, then you may compromise quality in the end. So cost isn't always the bottom line. I know it is to a lot of people, but when you're working on your project, you want to make sure that you get the best options, the best material, and at a reasonable price, of course, but discuss all these options with your contractor. You shouldn't have to always offend your contractor going, well, you could have bought it this way, or you could have saved money here. You know, they have their own contractors, they subcontract out people, they have their timeline and their management, and they have places that they buy in bulk probably. So they can probably offer you a lot of variety, a lot of options, and maybe good, better, best options. So that could always be a choice, but always telling somebody it's always about cost, that could really hurt somebody's feelings. Well, but you want to be professional, always do that. Let's go to number 7. Can you handle the permits and put them in my name? Well, that's not a good idea. The person whose name is on the permit is ultimately responsible for ensuring code and code compliance. It's typically the contractor that pulls the permits, and it's their responsibility to pull permits and ensuring that they are adhering to all of the codes, rules, regulations for your city and what is being done in your house. So have the contractor pull the permits. That's the best thing to do. Number 6, permits again. Okay, let's skip the permit phase. Well, this is horribly wrong. If you are having any additions to your house, even putting up a fence requires a permit around here. Skipping permits can cost you, the homeowner, a time, money. It could cost the sale of your house potentially. If you built an addition onto the back of your house and you didn't pull the permits, the contractor didn't pull the permits, or you wanted to skip the permit process altogether and go around the city, that is bad news. So when you go to sell your house after you've put this great, wonderful sunroom on the back of your house, it's your favorite place in your whole house, no permits, the city will know that. And they'll also know when you go to sell the house and you get any kind of inspection, the bank will probably most likely want you to make sure the permits are there for the extension of the house. So the bank could maybe tell you to tear the sunroom down. It doesn't count as additional square footage. It wasn't permitted. And to add onto it or rebuild it or even upgrade it, the city may make you tear it down altogether and rebuild with proper permits. So that's a terrible, terrible thing to do, is not pulling permits at all. Number 5 on our list, I don't need to see your insurance details. You absolutely do need to see your insurance. When you're hiring a general contractor, you need to get their license number, check with the state. It's easy to get online, check with the state, see what their license is, make sure they're licensed, bonded, and insured. You don't want anyone on your property doing work that could possibly get injured. are damaged, fall off your roof, you're responsible for them. So their contractor that hired them, they have to have the proper insurance in place before you allow anybody to come on your property and do work. Everybody needs to be insured properly on their side and on your side. Number 4, I want to cut some more costs. So I want you to use leftover materials from another job that you've had. That's a horrible idea. You don't know where these products have been. You don't know what's happened to them. You don't know if they've been left out in the weather, they've been damaged, they've been in the rain, they're stolen maybe. You don't know any of that stuff. So we don't want you to ever ask for used or leftover material. You want brand new, out of the box material. You want to know where the materials come from, and so that you can go and look for yourself and make sure all the materials being used in your project are new. Number 3, never say this to your contractor, oh, I don't have a deadline, finish whenever you want to. That is a green light for a contractor to never come back to work. They can take their time, take other jobs, more profitable jobs, take too many jobs, do whatever. You may see 1 or 2 subcontractors coming out every now and then, but when you give a contractor any indefinite timeline, your project can turn out to last 6 months to 5 years. I mean, it could really end up costing you a lot in the long run. Nobody wants their house under construction for 2 or 3 years. You want to get a project in, get it done. That's why you have a written contract and a timeline and deadlines. Everybody needs deadlines to make sure that your projects are fit into their schedule and they get done on time. Number 2 on your list, you tell the contractor, oh, don't worry about it. I'll buy the materials myself. That'll save us some money and time. Well, contractors purchase materials, they actually can get a bulk discount. They can save you money in the long run. Contractors they have all of the places, the warehouses and the showrooms and all these places, they already have relationships with those people and they use those things. When you think that you can buy something cheaper at a discount and have them use it, I had a friend that was building a house and she wanted to go with a specific cabinet that the contractor didn't offer her. And so she turned around and she said, I got my cabinets, I got them ordered, everything's here, it's coming in. The cabinets were delayed, that delayed the rest of the project, that delayed everything. The cabinets came in, they were the wrong cabinets. She went around her contractor to get some cabinets and it really skewed concrete being poured. Contractors have a schedule, and if they use their timeline, their schedule, their subcontractors, their people that they work with, you can schedule things out much better. So really, you will save time, money, and headaches if you allow the contractor you hired to do his job and don't subvert his knowledge and go around behind his back and use a different contractor that he's not used to working with. So number 1 thing you never ask a contractor is, can you do extra work for free? No, they can't do extra work. Requesting additional work without being compensated could strain your relationship and your project can be put on hold. Always discuss and agree upon everything before any changes are made to this project. So here's a pro tip for hiring a general contractor. Do all your research beforehand. Check out their licenses. They're insured. Ask for proof of insurance. Ask for references so you can see the work that they've done on similar projects, how they handle things, how they clean up. Talk to people that have used them, but always interview a minimum of 3 general contractors. You'll get a feel for which one you want, which work does the best, what fits in your price and your budget. Pro tip number 2, never pay for the whole project up front. That will ensure you that your project will never get completed. They're gonna go work on projects that they have to do the work, get the project done, and get paid. You really can put your contractor on like a monthly payment plan. If this gets done, then I write you a check for this. Make sure that you never pay them 100% full up front. They will take the money, run off, and you may or may not see them again. So let's make sure that everything is in writing. I know I stressed this a minute ago, but it really needs to be in writing. Let's just run down what we need to do with general contractors in general. Define the scope of your project. Make sure you have a clear outline and your budget constraints. If you tell them, I am not spending $1 over $100,000 on this project, your project will cost $110,000. They will do 10 to 20% over your budget. Let's see how the project goes. Let them give you an idea of what the project's gonna cost. Gather your recommendations together, verify and verify again. We're gonna make sure that you're gonna talk to their references who had positive experiences with contractors. Things can go wrong. People are human and they make mistakes. It can be okay, and it can also be a major headache. So just verify, check references, verify their credentials. Their credentials absolutely need to be verified. Do not let anyone come on your property without having insurance, bonded, licensed. You want to make sure they're licensed with the state you're in. They're pulling the permits. There's lots of things you have to be involved in when you hire a general contractor. Conduct your interviews with them. Make sure that you can work. A good contractor should be able to answer all of your questions clearly and provide suggestions based on their experience. So that's great information. When you're doing this, you want a general contractor to give you a detailed list of his estimate. You don't want a general estimate. Don't ask them, okay, what do you think this will cost me to do? Well, he doesn't know, you don't know. You need someone that you can work with that can actually price out every little thing. There's a company that I work with here in Memphis that when I'm selling a house, the seller needs a bunch of repairs done just from the home inspection. So when the home inspection gets done, I can take this list of repairs to this company. They will detail it out at what every cost item is. They are a little bit more expensive. They're very professional. They're on time, and they can make sure your house goes to closing on time, on budget, and all the repairs are professionally done and warranted for the buyer. So that is just a great little option to have. I know I got off track here about general contractors, but they are a general contractor. I mean, they were able to remason my mother's fireplace on the inside and out, and make it sturdy and stable for the buyer when they bought my mom's house. And they got all of the projects done. They had teams and crews of people on site right away to get the project done, completed, and we paid them and we were able to close on time. So it's very important that you get someone that they can give you a detailed list of expenses and what everything costs. Transparency is the best policy. Maintain open communication with your general contractor throughout the course of the project and make sure everything is satisfactory before the final payment is due. Once the final payment is paid, they're likely not gonna put you on their list to check back and come and do stuff again if something needs to be fixed. Be very cautious with your budget disclosure. You don't want to make sure that you say, this is how much I'm willing to spend. They will spend that plus some. And by following these steps, by hiring a general contractor who is well suited to your project, you're ensuring a smooth, successful renovation experience. And there you have it, the top 10 countdown of the things you never say to your general contractors. If you found this information helpful, like that video, subscribe to it, tap the bell for notifications so you never miss a chance to hear what Amy has to say about living in Memphis in the Mid-South. All right, I'm Amy Clark with Crye Lake Realtors, your go-to realtor for living in Memphis in the Mid-South. Thanks for watching my video. And as always, if you need to move to Memphis, want to upgrade, downsize, or just move to another house, go ahead, give me a call. I'd love to make your Memphis dream reality.